Hello, hope you're doing great. You're welcome to another episode of Thought Central with Uche. My name is Uche Akomas. Thought Central, as you know, is a program that is centered around life related issues which are designed to inspire a positive change by changing the narrative from my little Kana. And I consider this change of narrative a process. All right, today's episode, I'll be talking about something that I have noticed, which seems to be a trend. And I've seen this in some Nigerian movies. Yes, I'm a thespian, so I watch a lot of Nigerian movies. We have to promote our own. And I watch Nollywood for entertainment and for me to also critique movies. Okay, so this I believe it's something that happens in a lot in our society. It happens in a lot of families. I wouldn't say I've experienced it, but I have seen families where these things happen. What am I talking about? I know you'll be wondering. So I'll title this particular episode In-laws versus Sense of Entitlement. Now, by the time I give you a scenario, you will understand what this is all about. Okay, so a man gets married and his wife's family puts all the burden of the family on him. We see a situation where a man gets married and the burden of his wife's family are on him. He is charged with the responsibility of setting up his wife's brothers up in business or getting jobs for them. In some cases, he even pays school fees of his wife's siblings, and he's made to, shoulder the responsibilities of the family. You get what I mean, right? And it also applies to ladies, because I've seen a situation where a lady got married and her in-laws, there's her husband's family, put all the responsibilities on her because according to them, she was well-to-do. And I think that is wrong. I think that is wrong. I see a situation where a lot of families are raising the girls to be married off by rich men, or so that their responsibilities will be shifted to the son-in-laws, the daughters-in-laws coming into that family, or coming into those families, or sons-in-law coming into those families. The primary responsibility of a married man is his wife and his children. The primary responsibility of a married woman is her husband and her children. Am I saying that it's not good for him to take care of his in-laws? Am I saying that if God blesses him, or if he's blessed or well-to-do, he shouldn't take up certain responsibilities, in his wife's family or in her husband's family? No, don't get me wrong. But what I am against, and what this is about, is that sense of entitlement that some in-laws have, or some brothers-in-laws or sisters-in-laws have. Oh, you married my brother. Oh, you married my sister, and you should take care of my responsibilities. You should pay my school fees. You should send me to school. You should set me up in business. And what are you doing? You're grown up. You're grown up, you can fend for yourselves. Why should the burden of the wife's family be on the man? And some women are not even helping matters. They put so much pressure on their husbands to the point that these men are overburdened. The men are taking care, husbands are taking care of their wives and their children, and they are also taking care of the families of their wives. God created us to be productive. I keep saying this: be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, dominate it, subdue it. Is not just limited to procreation. It is not just God's commandment for women to procreate or for man to procreate, but for every human being that God created that is on the surface of this earth to be productive, have something to do, either have a job or have a skill that you can earn an income or earn a living with. It's a different thing that the man or the woman, out of his or her magnanimity, decides to take up certain responsibilities or decides, okay, I want to take care of the education of my wife's siblings or my husband's siblings. Is a different thing altogether. But imposing your responsibilities on your sons or your daughters-in-law is totally wrong. I see some families just train their daughters and then wait. Is more, about the ladies being married by rich guys or rich men. It is wrong. It is a wrong mindset. People now see marriage as poverty alleviation, which is wrong. Marriage is not designed for people to get people out of poverty. Marriage is not designed for poverty alleviation. It's not a poverty alleviation scheme where parents just leave their responsibilities for men and women to take care of. My father, when he was alive and when one of my sisters was getting married, the first person that got married in my family, she was in her final year in the university. And then this man came to marry her husband now. And my father insisted that my sister would graduate before he paid her bride price. Because he saw that as his responsibility. He didn't shift it to my in-law. He didn't shift it to my brother-in-law. And that was what happened. Parents, it is your responsibility to see your children through school. Set them up, raise them to an extent that they can fend for themselves. That they'll become responsible adults, not looking for men and women to handle their responsibilities or take up their burdens. And for guys, if you have younger siblings and you're about getting married, it's important that you set them up. Let them learn skills that they can earn an income from. Or try and get them a job, help to find a job for them, if you can. So that when you get married, you're not going to be overburdened by your family to the point that you are not taking care of your wife and your children. The same thing to ladies. If you know you have a lot of younger siblings and then you're getting married, please